Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Doom 3. Last time we finished off Alpha Labs 4 against a Spider-Woman creature who was apparently called a vagary or a vagary. I didn't bother looking up the pronunciation, just the name. And yeah, that's apparently it. It was the most stellar fight. But it was a successful fight. However, I guess I've been knocked down to about like half health and close to half armor, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to pick up the pieces in the EnPro facility, which is plant provides primary power to the communication and backup to power to the plasma cannons also manufactured here. Okay, so now loading time decides to give me tons of time to read. So it provides backup power to the communications. Oh no! Bravo team is gonna get horribly murdered.
There's nothing here, Sam. Go on. What the hell?
And then this is a kind of cool cinema because like you follow all the explosions that have been caused by that random bullet. Oh yeah, and it creates the situation in which it nearly destroys the whole facility. So you have to kind of save the day.
Main reactor operation temperature exceeding safe levels.
Marine, Bravo team is down. Their operational status is unknown. They were carrying a military transmission card. It's vital you retrieve that card as it contains encoded data needed to send the distress signal to the fleet. You're the last hope to get reinforcements. Find that card and find it fast.
Ah! Now notice how none of the people in Bravo team had flashlights. Because if they did, they would have been able to see the imps lying in wait in the shadows. And, of course, we've got ourselves this little guy. I forget what these guys are already called. Sentry Robot. That is what they're called. Now that I've got a Sentry Robot on my side, like, I don't really need to worry about too much. I mean, it can still be destroyed. It's not invincible. And it can still damage me.
Main reactor operation temperature exceeding safe levels.
And it also has a very specific route it goes on. Hello. So that door is... Oh, hello. So yeah, it has a very specific route for some reason. I don't really know if there's any specific reason as to why it goes down its route. Whether it's being sent on a specific direction by somebody, or whether it's kind of going through, like, its last, Oh, jeesh. I didn't even realize there was a hallway here, because of how dark it was. If only I brought an on-suit flashlight with me. And how nice of the Sentry Robot to double back. I might as well listen to this PDA, though. For Paul Rad. He's so rad, he needs an extra A in his name. New clone porn movies posted daily. Is this the new taboo? Come see what everyone's talking about. See gorgeous, identical clones in action. Wow, I don't remember that at all. Martian Buddy is there to take care of you. They'll give you lockers, they'll give you porn. What else do you need? As a reminder, tomorrow is our ice cream social in the Mars City Kitchen. We will have the typical flavors of vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, blueberry, and a few surprises. It's a downer when people don't show up. I mean, come on! Only 7 of you came to our pizza social last month. And only 5 of you died at the pizza social last month.
Paul Rad, Chief Technical Officer for the EnPro facility. During my weekly inspection of the coolant system, I discovered yet another safety violation. As I've stated repeatedly, our service manuals must be followed to the letter. Now, this includes changing back filters for the coolant system on schedule and not when maintenance gets around.
Yeah, plasma gun.
You know, unclean back filters will create pressure inside the coolant system's release tube. Even a minor disruption in a release tube can dislodge or destroy its coolant rod, overheating the core, and possibly sending the entire facility up in smoke. Now,
That sounds bad.
If I see this again, the team responsible will be transferred to sewage treatment before the day is over.
Oh, hello. Oh. You know, this area has a lot of just random imps showing up. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have stood so close to those explosive barrels. Now, did I leave anything back here? Yep, I did.
Warning. Coolant rod 2 offline. Main reactor operation temperature exceeding safe levels.
Paul Rad, Chief Technical Officer for the EnPro facility. I appreciate UAC's concerns following the number of stress-related illnesses spreading
Warning.
throughout the base.
Coolant rod 2
However, I don't understand
offline.
why we require such a large
Main
detail of
reactor
armed security
operation
device in
temperature
EnPro.
exceeding safe
I may
levels.
disagree, but I trust my team's mental condition far more than whatever programming is running inside those bots. Which brings me to the reason for this report. Today, one of my best engineers, Patrick Thomas, was nearly shot when a bot refused his clearance. That's right, shot. Luckily,
Oh
a nearby
no,
team from
that's
maintenance
definitely
caught
the
up to
worst
it,
thing a
smashed it with
person
a pipe wrench before
that
it
could
chased
happen to a
Paul down.
person
Now,
when
it'll be
hell
days
shows up.
before he's ready to return to work, and I don't think you'll ever get him close to one of those bots again. Our jobs are difficult enough without needing to avoid getting shot. If we're going to be treated like prisoners, I respectfully request that you afford us the courtesy of being guarded by people instead of machines.
Yeah, screw those machines. Oh, by the way, I believe this is the Doom 3's version of the flying skull, the Spectre. Like, this person's head is just gonna dislodge. It's great. Oh. Ah. Pretty nifty, I gotta say.
Service bridge now operational.
So... Oh, no, I don't have the password for that one. Teresa Chassar. Oh yeah, she's doing research on the plasma weapon. Lloyd has really outdone himself in time. This time, he's moved into the office next to the trench in EnPro. Does he really think by moving me to the most remote office on this wretched base that I'll be more attracted to him? Wait, it might be working. Being isolated for this long is getting to me. Need to talk to a real person. I know what you're talking about. When I was still there, I felt like I was the only woman surrounded by a bunch of drooling men. Hope you like your new office. Concentrate on the plasma gun project. Please, make sure you lock up,
This is the audio log of weapon analyst Teresa Chazar, dated November.
See, the
3rd,
problem with
21:45.
this is now I've got to sit and wait for the whole audio log
Tests on the ammo storage in the new Mach 3 plasma gun has far exceeded our expectations.
in order for
We realized a full 50% gain in the storage capacity of ammo.
in order
packs
for
as
her
a
to get
result
to
of
the
utilizing
to the
techniques
passcode.
engineered in the Alpha Labs molecular compactor. I believe with the ongoing compaction research, we will reach our goal of 3 times the plasma storage currently available on standard ammo packs. I would also like to mention that all of the employees here at the EnPro plant have been very helpful and quite eager to accommodate all of my requests. For security reasons, I have the plasma gun and the extra ammo in locker 063 with door code 972. End of log.
I missed the passcode, so I am going to play that again and just skip to myself
This is the audio
opening
log of weapon
the
analyst Teresa Chazar,
locker.
dated November 3rd, 972. End of log.
Alright, now I got the extra ammo that I definitely possibly needed because I haven't fired a single shot using the plasma gun yet. All I know is that clearly the shotgun is not a very good choice to defeat these flying skulls.
Attention. All personnel evacuate the facility.
Actually, god damn. You know, I don't remember these guys being such a pain in the ass. But, lo and behold, here they are. Oh yeah, now I've got to like go across this whole...
Hazard doors sealed. Please contact plant
Up. Okay, so the right click, so the right mouse button is also a jump button.
Reactor core
And I
temperature,
accidentally
235
tapped it while
degrees
running
Celsius.
along, which would have nearly killed me. See, like, and that's kind of what, oh, hello. What makes the imp kind of like not quite that dangerous. In this game, because it's very, very easy to just dodge it. Although now it seems like I'm getting closer to the part where actually more than like one enemy just shows up at a time. So this might be... I might have to call myself out on my earlier statements that
Warning. Reactor core temperature.
that a lot of this gets pretty repetitive.
Celsius.
Although here's a question. Visually, the EnPro facility looks very much like Alpha Labs, which looks very much like...
Lily, you gotta find that transmission card. If Swan gets his hands on it, I don't know what he'll do.
that's the thing. I'm not gonna see... Actually, that's I just realized something. Like, the military sergeant... Like, he doesn't even consider Betruder? I forget the scientist's name already because I have not even seen him for so long. Ah, damn it. A Betruder. Like, the sergeant doesn't even care about him. He looks at, Swan as the threat. Oh, yeah. See these guys that teleport? They get no introduction. They're just here. There's this enemy that teleports. It's very similar to that other enemy that doesn't teleport. And, every other enemy gets, gets an introduction, but not those guys. They get nothing. they lose. Good day, sir. Alright. So basically, now that I'm here, I can just replace Rod 2, and the reactor is good. Ah, there's Swan again. Walking very, very slowly and clumsily behind his sergeant.
No, sir.
Okay, let's get to the communications facility. We can stop the transmission from there.
Whatever you say, Counselor.
By the way, this is the first time we've heard mention that they're planning to stop that transmission to Earth. We've only kind of actually heard the mention that they're planning to send a transmission to Earth, like very briefly earlier on. Oh, hello. Oh. You know, I didn't realize that this window was open. For some reason, I thought it was just a solid wall of glass. Oh well. So yeah, I think that's one other thing that kind of makes this game feel more repetitive is that, like, it takes, after the initial emergence of the demons in hell, oh, hello. Like, nothing really happens for a very long time. And you don't, so you get called along, you're like, hey, hook up with Bravo Team. And then Bravo Team gets destroyed before you even see them. Then the mission becomes, oh, send a transmission to Earth. Then, after that, when that fails, obviously, well, there's actually a choice behind that one. It becomes stopping hell. So, I guess that's the thing. Would you want story out of your Doom game? And clearly, due to the success of the Doom reboot, the answer is no. It is not necessary. But oh, hello. Where the Doom reboot succeeds is it maintains, it starts off fast and it only gets faster. Hello. Whereas this game starts off very slowly, very methodically, and then it builds up speed as it goes. And see, these teleporting enemies, they are largely not a threat for the same reason that... Oh. For the same reason that imps that teleport into the battlefield are not a threat. In that when they teleport, there is a huge amount of time spent just kind of frozen in space, where they can... I wonder if... Are these... Yep, these are explosive. Oh, but they're on a timer. Yeah, so they get left kind of frozen in space for the longest time. So yeah, that timed barrel, it didn't take care of the first guy, but it did take care of the second. So yeah, they're not particularly a dangerous foe. It's just kind of odd that they don't get any introduction where everybody else does. Oh, hello. How are you? You are dead. There we go. I was wondering, like, at what distance it would make more sense to try to take out that one imp without actually damaging myself. Oh. And then these guys, like, okay, so that's probably what makes a large amount of this game fairly repetitive, is that you spend... Damn it. You spend a large amount of the game fighting against enemies that only have one move, which is slowly charge at you. That was kind of cool. Kind of. Not genuinely. Oh. Alright, so I don't have the door code for there. But do I really need plasma? Probably. Though I haven't really used it. I probably should use it on somebody. That way I could at least say, hey, you've been killed with a plasma gun. Ah! And now the last survivor of the Bravo team.
Over here. We were hit. I don't know how much farther I can go. Here. Take the transmission card. We can't stay here. Isn't safe. We better move.
Oh no, he has been killed! Yeah, that's the thing with this game, is weapons kinda suck. They just don't really have that feeling of impact. Like, the plasma gun isn't as bad as, say, the machine gun. But it's alright. And then we have... Okay, so this exits onto Mars, and then I have to get back to the other side, where the Director Swan has gone. Alright. But for now, comm transfer. Comm transfer connects EnPro and communications and acts as a multipurpose facility for power distribution, equipment repair, and cargo transfer to other base sectors. Due to the frequency of broken something. Not fast enough. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day. Oh, look! You don't get an introduction either. You get nothing. You lose. So yeah, that's kind of interesting that two weapons, including one... two enemies, including...
Get your ass to the communications facility as quickly as possible. You gotta get that message to the fleet.
Hello. So yeah, there are two monsters in this game. One of them specifically being a revised version of a classic monster, and neither of them actually get a introduction, whereas all of... I guess the regular human enemy doesn't either, so I guess that makes for 3 monsters. Which I suppose is too bad, because they could have had something cool going on. What have you got? You've got no face. Oh yeah, And that's another thing that's mentioned, like, it was mentioned, I think, like a good 5 levels ago, and then really isn't. And is not mentioned again, and that's the idea that there's this growth in the base. So that makes like these weird spooky things kind of random when they actually do happen. Ah. See, it takes Isaac of Dead Space like a whole bunch of boot stops to take a corpse apart. But this guy, just like a couple flashlight smashes. Oh, back outside. Oh, spiders again. I was wrong. I had clearly said there was the end of spiders, and yet I'm clearly back in Spider Town. Population me. While also suffocating. Jeez. These guys are huge pains in the butt. But I should be able to take this lift back up. Oh, hello. So, it turns out I was incorrect in a previous statement. I had said that the spiders came to an end after you defeat that spider boss, but it's very rude of him for hiding. Oh, hello. And now he's just kind of like hiding behind here, isn't he? You know, I probably should blow up these barrels before approaching them, but I live on the edge. Okay, so my revised statement. Oh, hello. Is that is the last of the spiders that we will see in a main area. Let's see how long that stays true. In the meantime, like, we still don't know why Swan is trying to stop any comm signal. We also don't know why the Sergeant has allied himself against Swan, and not the clearly evil Betruger. I'm just gonna call him Betruger, and assume that's the correct pronunciation from now on, because he only shows up in the game once more, and that's it. Oh, hello. Ah, I did not realize there were barrels right there. Which would have been really bad if I kept running and blew myself up. Luckily, I knew to stop running? No, I didn't. I just got lucky. That. Oh, yeah. That's the problem with having such poorly lit facilities. Is it's hard to tell, Oh, hello. Ah! Chainsaw guy. Yeah. Which button is chainsaw? There we go. Now, here's the thing. This is one of the chainsaw is one of those things that I would say the Doom reboot has done objectively better.
This is the audio log of Controller James Holliday, dated September 24th, 2145. The recent transport issues from Site 3 have caused the board to call a formal inquiry. We'll study weight limits and suggest better ways to provide protection for Site 3 artifacts.
Damn it. Case, does anything work with this? Finish this later.
Nothing works in this facility, so much so that like he can't even make a PDA message about it. And the lights are off, so yay? That man has no face. But he has a brain. He had a brain that erupted from his skull, but he had no upper skull. Where was he storing said brain? Truly a mystery of the ages. Oh, hello. Yeah, I figured I might as well deal with that problem with superior firepower. Also... oh yeah, I was talking about how the chainsaw is better in the Doom reboot. Because it actually has a... it has a gameplay function besides being a, like an interesting... like, I think in Doom 1 and 2, the chainsaw is an interesting alternate weapon, but you couldn't really use it most of the time. Most of the time. It wasn't very particularly useful. Whereas in the Doom reboot, the chainsaw becomes a part of the cycle of collecting ammo and collecting health. Thank you, Mission Objective, for occupying the entire screen. Oh, hello. So yeah, like, the way that the Doom reboot does things a little bit differently is it has its, like, big execution kills as a means of acquiring health, whereas the chainsaw kills are a means of acquiring ammo. So you use the execution kills to get back your health that you lost, and the chainsaw kills to get back the ammo you lost. Whereas, like, you look at Doom, like, the traditional first-person shooter, and including Doom 3, Doom 1, and Doom 2, the act of using ammo on bad guys, it exists only to kill the bad guy. The way of gaining ammo or health is only generally through the environment. Like, nobody's going to be dropping... I guess there are some characters, bad guys, that drop shotgun shells, and some characters that drop bullets. Oh, hello. But for the most part, I don't know why the guy appeared just because I dropped down there. But for the most part, Oh, hello. You only collect, that cycle of collecting health and ammo is more about fight enemies to unlock areas. Explore areas to get health and ammo. Whereas the Doom reboot combines those two. Ron Ridge. I don't have any idea what to do with those things. Why don't you throw them down the chasm near EnPro like you did that other shit? Here's the question. What was that other shit that he threw down the chasm near EnPro? Also, how much of Mars is covered in litter? Actually, that raises an interesting question. Like, if you have a planet that is generally inhospitable, and part of it is being used by a corporation to facilitate research, how much of that planet is going to be used entirely for the purposes of disposing waste? Maintenance lift. Several of these lifts can only be entered. Please make sure that only maintenance access has unsafe driving.
This is the audio log of Officer Ron Ridge dated October 16, 2145. Recent transport tunnel accidents are causing major headaches for both supply and maintenance. Each accident causes an estimated 1 to 3 hour delay in what are mostly time-sensitive shipments. It's becoming evident that certain junctions need safety adjustments as well as recommitment to driving safety by all personnel. The EnPro to Com Center route has shown the biggest increase in accidents over the past 6 months. Safety signs and improved lighting are needed throughout the main junctions over the stretch of tunnels and paths. Absolutely, recreational vehicle passage should be allowed during peak hours. All personnel should use monorail travel whenever possible to keep cargo shipments flowing smoothly.
See, this is clearly what action game needed. Is it needed a very slow-moving platform for you to move about with. And actually, I think it's... This is really noisy. It's levels like this. Like, Doom 3 doesn't pick up the pace. Well, I guess, okay. So Doom 3 does pick up the pace, but it also slows down at times, too. And there are very few things that kind of slow down a game quite like a slow-moving platform that runs on a track. I don't actually need that right now. Anything in this direction? Oh, yeah, this is where I came from. Alright, so I probably don't actually need to go in that direction. So yeah, you basically use this cargo transport lift to move around the EnPro station. Not exactly... Oh. Hold on. Alright. Oh, hello. Oh my. Is he using dodging mechanics? Is he trying to survive? I'm very impressed. I mean, he'll die eventually anyway. By me. But still... I gotta say, he's trying harder than most bad guys. What's kind of interesting about this is that you are expected to use this lift control to get yourself onto the bridge. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to find your way around. Oh, hello. Hello. Ah, damn it. You know, I probably should turn off the jump as a, the right mouse button as a jump button. Ah. And now we've got more of that growth around the facility. And again, that's kind of interesting how they introduced the idea, like, 5 or 6 levels ago, but it doesn't actually show up
Maintenance exit now
for a
accessible.
long time. Which is either interesting foreshadowing or terrible plot development. Because it probably would generally be more interesting if... oh, I could have gone that way too. If, like, you are informed about the growth and you see small amounts of growth throughout the facility. And then as you get deeper and deeper into the facility, you start to see more and more until it starts to actually affect the area around you. Oh, hello. As opposed to waiting until the point in which you do see a large amount. It just goes from nothing to large. There is no small, there is no medium. You either get nothing or the grande size. Also, did I pick something up? I think I picked up a video disc. Nope, I'm just crazy. I picked up nothing. So, I might as well hop back onto this platform and carry on up. No, no, there we go. No, I don't need to punch. And that's also another oddity in regards to the Doom series, is, the usage of your fists as a weapon. Now, oh, hello. Where the hell? For some reason I thought he was already dead. Oh. If I remember correctly, I'm going to step forward and this platform is going to drop. There we go. And now we get the Berserk power-up for the first time. Okay. Like, I understand what they were trying to do, because, like, the name of the med pack that you pick up in Doom 1 and Doom 2 is Berserk. So, your character is going berserk. He's... Ah, damn it. Like, he's literally losing his mind. But at the same time, it's very, very goofy. Now, I don't actually have to fight these guys. Except for the fact that the Cacodemon is pretty fast in this game. The communications tower is a primary link for off-planet communications. Broadcast dishes are aligned for communications directly with USIP for deep space communication through the Phobos uplink. And now we are in the communications section.
Marine, are you at the communications facility yet?
I am.
You gotta get that message to the fleet now. Watch out for Campbell and Swan. Those UAC suits don't give a damn about what happens to anyone. Now get a move on.
God damn it. Where am I? So yeah, he looks at them as a bunch of suits. Again, even though Betruger is a really, really creepy scientist. Which almost brings about the idea that the sergeant doesn't even know about the head scientist. Like, it's not something he concerns himself with. Likely because he only worries about the soldiers themselves on the base rather than the scientists. So he looks upon the arrival of the corporate... Oh, hello. Although I've got to say that the random movements of this version of the Cacodemon make for a very tricky fight. Because he's constantly, like, swaying all over the place. You're trying to maintain your aim on him. Oh, hello. Interesting. It's almost as if they expected you to try to dodge there. He gets... Oh, hello. And I believe these windows can be shot out, or they'll be exploded somehow.
Router 48A6. Attempting insulation reroute.
Wow. So now we've got two paths, communications and monorail.
Primary communication systems offline. Oh. Attempt to configure secondary tower.
Jeez. I attempted to switch weapons mid-loading animation, and clearly this game wasn't having any of it. Oh, maintenance hatch. Where is this maintenance hatch that I supposedly opened? Is work safe? Oh, it's over here. I don't get too much health back, but at the very least I stock back up on armor. Which is okay. By the way, I'm offered to go to the comm center or the monorail, but I'm going to eventually go to both, so... Here's the question. Is there any game where it gives you names of locations to go to, but it prevents you from going to a specific location? So, like, imagine if I was here and there's comm center one way, monorail the other way, and the monorail just never shows up in the game. You're just forced to move around it. Like, the closest example I can think of is there's an area in the Messenger where it seems like you're supposed to be heading in that direction and then you just fall into a pit.
Communication system overload. Communications shut down.
Oh, hello. Who's shooting at me? Ah! Now that's something that you don't see in modern games. That Doom 3 could have benefited from is the idea of, like, I can hit the reload button. Huh. You know, For some reason, I guess specific weapons can't be interrupted mid-load? Yeah, so the machine gun cannot be interrupted mid-load. The shotgun can.
Marine, Delta System computers are showing all off-base communication down. It's that fool Swan, isn't it? You're gonna have to find another way to send that message. Make your way to the satellite room and manually establish a link from there. Base schematics are showing the quickest way is through engineering. You can't fail, Marine. Get that message sent.
Now, when you get to that satellite room, you're given the choice to send it or not. And I don't remember if you actually find out why Swan didn't send it the first time.
This is the audio log of
Your receipt. $270 for classical music. Like The Head on My Tongue by Hellish Dragons, and 20th century classics by various artists. Question? What the hell is up with the sentry robots? Why do you get to hang around main communications while I'm stuck down here?
This is the audio log of Technician Seamus, dated October 16th, 2145. Our relatively new remote module replacement procedures are taking some time for maintenance technicians to adjust to. In the long run, it's a much safer, quicker, and easier method. Once a technician receives a call, he simply locates the problem module and gives a replacement command through the remote terminal located...
That one had a riot shield.
This will initiate the replacement procedure as well as create a repair report, which notifies the repair team of an incoming module. Some minor repairs can be done on-site with normal equipment. I'm hoping the new system will need less and less use once the source of the recent power fluctuations is located and solved. The system is built to handle most other things with its automated recovery systems.
Ah, look, it's Irish McIrishman, Seamus, here to tell us about the engineering program in Delta Labs. You know that Seamus is Irish, not because his name is Seamus, but also because of his thick Irish accent. I'm always actually a little bit happy that works, because it gives me a chance to game the system. Oh, damn it. I might as well pick up this health pack. Oh, hello. Ah. And then, nope, hello. And then immediately lose that health. So, now that Swan and his lieutenant, I forget his name, have destroyed the communications facility, it is up to me to send out a message manually. Now here's the question. If the main military on Mars wasn't able to defeat this force, would you say that the approach of reinforcements is enough to do the job? Also, consider the entire idea of possession. Like, a lot of these creatures were possessed or twisted from their original sources, plus the fact that they seem to spread everywhere instantaneously. So, for some reason, the sergeant thinks that just by sheer numbers, That's all that it'll take to defeat this hellspawn. Whereas... Oh, hello. Whereas Swan's strategy is more about self-sacrifice. As long as the demons are stuck on Mars, then that is a win. Oh, hello. But this also leads to another question. Why would the demons only be stuck on Mars? What's preventing them from leaving the planets? God damn it. Are they dependent on spaceflight technology? Who was shooting at me that last time then? Oh well. I guess in this version of the Doom, they are dependent on actual spaceflight technology. Whereas it looks as though the Doom reboot, that is not an issue. Although I think the fact that they're dependent on spaceflight is similar to the idea that, similar to some of the ideas from the original Doom. Because in the original Doom, the demon spawn attack Earth by following your character, the Doom Marine, onto the planet. So it's like they had to tag along in order to get there. Their presence needed to teleport to Hell. Although that also implies the idea that they could have teleported to Hell at any time. They just happened to follow the Doom Marine along with. Ben Wolf. What do you have to say for yourself? Unauthorized bandwidth. Alright, your request for communication security is granted. The code is 246. I should write that down using whatever nearby writing utensil I have, which is just this pen. 246. Oh, almost forgot. Ben Wolf. Unauthorized bandwidth.
This is the audio log of Officer Ben Wolf, dated October 7th, 2145. Recent unauthorized transmissions have been uncovered in the offsite government logs. These logs are usually not validated, but an unscheduled audit has shown significant activity. More investigating will be done to get to the bottom of this matter. Particularly interesting are transmission blocks D4560 and DE3288, which have no links.
I believe the source of the invasion was from the main portal here in Delta. After you send that transmission, get here as quickly as possible.
Shall do. So this might be 246. Yes, it is. And I'm fully armored again. And I have a sentry robot. And obviously, it doesn't take a scientist or a sergeant to figure out that the main source of the invasion is Delta. That is clearly where all the bad things have happened. You know, I also completely forgot about the right shield enemy. I gotta admit. And boy, this area is quite dark. Although it definitely has more enemies for the sentry robot to fight alongside you. Nope, hello. That was kind of cool. And that's the thing, like, it takes so long for the game to get to this point. Although I wish that enemies had more of a strategy than just charge directly at you. Like, it's clear that the Cacodemon kind of has one specific strategy, and that is charge directly at you while firing. These guys have one strategy, which is charge directly at you and then stop to fire. They cannot move while shooting at you. Oh. And that, I suppose, is the big advantage to the Cacodemon, is the Cacodemon can move while shooting. I seem to be running a little bit low on health, but that's okay. Wait. You know, it seems like I'm going in a lot of big loops in this game. I'm assuming satellite control is where I want to be.
Computer system shows Swan and Campbell are still in the area. Watch out for them. And get that transmission sent.
Now, I don't believe you actually have to worry about either Swan or Campbell, but the Sergeant does become a boss fight towards the end of the game. Spoiler. Sorry. What, you think he was actually gonna help you? Psh. Alright, hey bro, Mom told me you were heading home in a week or so. I bet you can't wait for that. But alas, you're dead. Quiz night. Don't forget that trivia quiz night is this Wednesday. Do yourself a favor and brush up on Shakespeare? My God, that sounds like a really boring quiz night. Unless you're really into Shakespeare. I didn't realize that the satellite control happened before the exit towards Delta Labs. But I guess that makes sense, because the whole issue with the transmission would then be taken care of, and then the next step would be getting to the portal to hell.
Manual uplink established.
Marine, you hear me? Back off from that console. Do not call for reinforcements. We don't know what the hell is going on here. And until we do, this area remains under UAC control. Cancel that transmission.
Satellite connection established.
Now notice, in that previous sequence where there was this scientist on a bridge, and he was kind of in this processor section, there are two buttons. One of them was activate the machine, one of them was save his life. And the activate button was bigger than the save life button. And in this case, you have two buttons, transmit and cancel. They are equal in size, or at the very least as equal in size as one could get depending on the number of letters there are in a word. But transmit's font does not make it bigger than cancel's font. Both of these choices are acceptable. Neither choice leads to anything different. If I transmit the signal, the fleet gets called and they get summoned. If I cancel the signal, Betruger, I think, summons the fleet. So actually, now that I think about it, yeah, Betruger does show up once more in the game. But I'm gonna cancel.
You did the right thing. Until we know what's happening here, we need to keep ourselves sealed off from everyone else. The monorail entrance looks clear. Meet up with us there. We need to reach the Delta complex and stop this.
I would agree with that statement. I mean, clearly, like, the people here that survived that I ran into have no idea what's going on. And they're scientists. I'm just a Marine. I don't even have a name.
Marine, you have just violated a direct order. Get your ass back to that console and send that transmission.
Nope. Sorry.
Marine, this is your last chance to get...
Now, I don't remember exactly where I'm supposed to go. Do I go to maintenance? Either way, I'm supposed to go to the monorail. Okay, I'm just gonna turn that. I keep accidentally hitting the right control button. Page up. Space or page up. Okay, that's good enough for me. Now the right mouse button does nothing, and I can accidentally hit it to my heart's desire. Hello, how are you doing today? See, he wasted his pounce attack on nothing. Ah, hello. See, it's times like these in which a flashlight would have been useful, because then I would be able to see the bad guys just on the other side of the sledge and shoot them, instead of just see them or shoot them. Alright. That was like a baseball throw. Like he was going for the strikeout with that toss. Okay, so this leads me back towards the passage to the monorail. Now I've gone back on a loop. And that's actually one of the interesting things about the Ratchet and Clank series. In that every level is kind of designed to be a loop. Because, like, your ship is your main method of traveling the stars in that game. Every planet is a different level. You go to the planet, you explore the planet, you go back onto your ship, you go to the next planet. Oh, hello. Now, they could have had it in such a fashion that, you would have had to backtrack to your ship every single time. But instead they designed the levels in such a way that the end of the level always resulted in you proceeding, like circling back to your ship. But this is going to be it for now. Next time, on to the monorail.
Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.